Hugh Marsh with help from Robert Palmer and Del Bello, and Rules Are Made to Be Broken, which is based around some censorship rules set up by the Nazis regarding the playing of jazz during World War II. When rock and roll was born in the 1950s, so was a never-ending campaign to have it banned. Parents and politicians and preachers and even doctors got involved. Here's a quote from a certain Dr. Braceland, who worked as a psychiatrist at a facility somewhere in Connecticut. Rock music is a cannibalistic and tribalistic form of music, a communicable disease appealing to adolescent security and driving teenagers to do outlandish things. Pablo Casals, the famous classical cellist, called rock poison put to sound. Mitch Miller, the head of talent development at Columbia Records in the 1950s and early 1960s, hated rock music. He passed on Elvis, Buddy Holly, and some English group called the Beatles. I quote from Mitch, "Rock and roll is musical baby food. It is the worship of mediocrity, brought about by a passion for conformity." Wait, rock and conformity? Anyway, here's another example of a piece of music that was banned by certain radio stations. This censorship had nothing to do with its lyrics because, well, it's an instrumental. Stations refused to play this just because it sounded dangerous. That's Rumble from Link Ray, banned by some radio stations in the 1960s because it sounded too dangerous. Just can't trust those teenagers. But here's the best censorship story of the era. In 1963, a garage band from Portland, Oregon called the Kingsmen made a record called Louie Louie. They had no money. Cheap studio, one overhead mic dangling about 10 feet above the band. Everybody had to be arranged around that one mic. The singer's name was Joe Eli, and he had to sing with his head all the way back, effectively singing straight up into the microphone. Complicating things was the fact that he had some big, heavy braces on his teeth. So no wonder no one could make out what he was singing. Before we go any further, I want you to give this a listen. See if you can make out what's going on.